Welcome to a 1v1 on Minsk Pocket. This game is going to be BananaInPajamas as Oberkommando West in the north versus Last of the Mohicans playing as Soviets in the south. On Minsk Pocket, we've got Scavenge, Luftwaffe, Elite Armor versus Advanced Warfare. Already chosen to take advantage of radio intercept right off the bat. First engagement is Sturms versus Conscripts on the left. Kuba Wagon fielded by BananaInPajamas as well. And he will not be able to get those conscripts suppressed at this range, I don't think. But he flanks around behind with Sturm Pioneers to try and flush them out of cover. Sets up in yellow cover himself at this range. Can't tell who's going to win this engagement. I think Banana's going to take this one. Narrowly. No support is on its way. Nice flank by Banana, setting up in yellow cover there in the retreat path. Nice flank to get behind their sandbag position. He might even get a wipe really early right here. No, they're going to be okay. They're going to get away. Sturm Pioneers take a decent amount of damage, but they engage pretty well for that first engagement. Force one conscript squad off the field. And we're going to see two sandbag fighting positions go up here to defend the victory point, which he's probably going to capture next. 3 Volksgrenadier opening after the Kuba Wagon, and then Banana will probably tech. Last of the Mohicans going with a 4 conscript opening. No tech from him. And Advanced Warfare is one of those commanders that's kind of interesting. You don't see it that frequently. Radio intercept makes it kind of... kind of a niche commander. Having the T-3485 is nice. This ability seems pretty bad. The tactical Sturmovik attack doesn't really do anything, but conscript repair is nice, and on the right map, conscript assault can be nice. On this map, I certainly think PPSHs would be bad. I don't expect them to perform all that well, but I guess we'll find out. There's the early anti-tank grenade research. Ura straight for that Kubel, does not get in range. Exposes himself a little bit to those conscripts. There's a second Ura, needs to keep that Kubel moving. Oh, he didn't make it clear in time. He needs a crit. No crit. And the Kuba will go down. Got a little lazy on the Kuba Wagon micro. And while he did force his opponent to go AT grenades, this Kuba Wagon didn't contribute to winning very many engagements, and I don't think he really got a very good return on that investment. So... over here on the right side, wire going down.
Okay, that's the last one. Comrades, we have now installed a field hospital at headquarters.
And we're gonna see Volksgrenadiers slowly taking control of the center. Combat engineers here on the right side look like they were thinking about planting some kind of defenses or mines or something, but I think he was going to go for a demo charge right here, but he couldn't collect the 90 munitions he needed, so he's going to have to get out of there. Volksgrenadiers move up into these sandbags right here, which is actually going to make it a little difficult for the Soviet to retake control of that area without Molotovs or just overwhelming the area with superior numbers. One squad of conscripts moving left is not going to advance beyond the left side munitions point, just trying to take full control of that munitions point and defend it for now against anything that Banana fields. And he is going to go with the AA half-track next. So AA half-track is in production. And that will fill the role of the Kuba Wagon quite nicely. It's best to have both of them still alive. You want as many suppression sources as you can, because as Oberkommando West, you're kind of lacking in that department, in a sense. But he has really good fuel control right now. The longer he can hold this line in this green cover position, the better. Oorang into short range with these conscripts. I think this may be a little too much for Banana to take on. I don't know. It's going to be a tough engagement. He takes 3 losses on the approach, 4 losses if you include that. Oh, that grenade placement! That clutch grenade! You have to be so careful with early grenades as Oberkommando West. But that was perfectly placed to catch them if they tried to retreat. He punishes his late reaction. Squad wiped. There's the second grenade. Where is the reaction? He didn't react at all. Fortunately, the squad being in green cover saves them. They only take half damage and they had pretty good health remaining. So he exhausts all of his munitions reserves here in the early game on 2 grenades and a minesweeper. So while he could have purchased a Panzerschreck by now, he chooses not to. And he's got the flak half-track now, so he has light anti-tank, or light anti-vehicle. can take on an M3, but his opponent is not going to field when he's going straight for the tier 2, and having excellent fuel control means he has a really long time before T-34s arrive if he chooses to go tier 3, which he may do. I don't know. Good munitions control from the Soviet, and he needs to take advantage of that. Turn engagements in his favor. Probably consider Molotov package, turn infantry engagements, and if he can swarm the AA half-track with anti-tank grenades, pretty decent chance he can take that out. You need to hit it with 3, and then if it doesn't die immediately, you can usually finish it off with small arms fire immediately thereafter. Luftwaffe has been chosen by Banana, and he's gonna throw an MG-34 onto the field to protect the left flank while Flak half-track is positioned a little poorly right here. He needs to switch up the positioning right there. He's going to probably nail his own Volksgrenadiers with this positioning because they're positioned in cover. You don't want the Flak half-track to be behind your units in cover. You want to move it a little diagonally. If you set it up right there, you have to keep two things in mind with Flak half-track positioning. You need to make sure his reverse path is quite clear, which it is right now, so that's good. But you also need to make sure that your line of fire to your enemy does not hit any of your own troops, and it doesn't hit too many shot blockers. That's cover right here, branch the tree and stuff. It would be better if you try to position his Flak half-track like this to avoid hitting any shot blockers. Fortunately, that burst connected quite nicely. Late retreat on the flamethrower gets wiped. I don't know what that was. Flak half-track does have a clear reverse path. Will get clear. Needs to drive forwards this direction. Perfect movements. If he had, that was a beautiful flank by Last of the Mohicans right there. Clearly working on a very nice 3-point flank on that Flak half-track. He wasn't paying attention to his flamethrower though and loses it as a result. His flank will round up that machine gun and force it to retreat. And Banana does the right thing, reacting to that flank, heading straight right away from these troops where he does have vision and control. Will not take engine damage and will recover quite gracefully from that. He finally loses control of the fuel point right here. Thanks to a pretty nice play by Last of the Mohicans, other than the loss of his flamethrower. And having gone tier 2 into a field gun, he has a good unit with which to screen away that Flak half-track. So, pretty good reaction to the situation he was in, but he really needed to execute better in the early game to maintain fuel control at all points. He has not had his own fuel point for most of the game, and that's going to really hurt him later on. Banana already up to 100 fuel after purchasing a Flak half-track will be quite in the lead, and he can utilize those fuel reserves to either go maybe quick Panzer II, maybe go straight for Panther from here, maybe go Jagdpanzer on a battle group headquarters that he can set up. So he's got a lot of options. A lot of options. The last thing you want to do is give your opponent a ton of options because you couldn't hold map control in the beginning. And Banana is going to field some Fallschirmjäger out of the building over here on the right side. So they're going to start the victory point clock ticking against Last of the Mohicans now. Banana already has a very small lead. It's going to start growing.
Capturing supply sector.
Grenadiers, Volksgrenadiers performing quite well against conscripts over here. Hoorahing into close range without superior numbers against this many Volksgrenadiers, just not accomplishing anything. He is forced to retreat. Over here on the right side, the Fallschirmjäger finally retreat away from two conscript squads. The AT gun is generally hovering in the same area as these conscripts to make sure that that Flak half-track will die if it gets too close, makes a mistake. There's tier 4 from Banana, who may be going straight for Panther. He has probably got the fuel to justify that decision. The victory points, or the command points I should say, still quite low. Nobody has recovered this flamethrower, by the way. Flamethrower on Volksgrenadiers is a very powerful thing to have. I guess he just doesn't see that default camera angle. It's a little hidden. May not be looking that far south. I don't even know if he knows he wiped that. Finally! There, he's like, oh hey, there's a flamethrower over here. Should pick that up. Pretty strong defensive line here from Banana. Two machine guns now. Fallschirmjäger making their way back to the front lines. Without a tier 2, he has no forward healing. No Vet 1 on the Stern Pioneers for medic boxes either. Spending his munitions on mines on the flank. Nice mine. Good mine placement. You need to start thinking about mines 11 minutes into the game. T-34 has become a real possibility. Because his fuel control's been so good, Last of the Mohicans wouldn't be able to get a T-34 just yet, but it's getting close to the point where he's going to be able to, even without fuel control. It's good to throw those mines down just to be safe. High explosive barrage from the Zis here on the right flank. Prompts that machine gun to reposition a little bit. And again, some of these forces are a little weak, taking indirect fire, getting bled. He has no way to heal, no way to reinforce. Unlike Oster, you can't just throw a half-track onto the field and do what you can with that. Uh-oh, flak half-track in serious danger. What is it doing? Move! Ah! Gets picked by the AT gun on the right flank. He was so trapped, he didn't know what to do. He reacted so late. He was trying to just kill the AT gun, I think, but he didn't have enough firepower in the area. Finally, Fallschirmjäger arrived. They're too late to save the flak half-track. Maybe it won't matter, though. Now that his tier 4 is up and he has Fallschirmjäger on the field, he has Obers on the field, he has some really scary anti-infantry forces that he may not need the flak half-track to survive. And he has a huge map control advantage against his opponent, for sure. MG-34 firing away, and there it goes. We'll be forced to retreat. Obersoldaten and Fallschirmjäger working the right side. Last of the Mohicans has just utterly failed to take map control in any way, shape, or form. So late on his T-34 of whatever variety he decides to field. If he does go straight for T-34-85, he's going to be left with no armor for a long time. Meanwhile, Banana looks like he's going to be throwing out a Panther. If you're getting a Panther out before your opponent's fielded a single tank, you are in an incredibly powerful position as Over Commando West. That is, you just could not be happier. That is probably one of the best positions you could possibly be in this game. Because you started incredibly strong and are going to get stronger. So,
Supply lines have been cut.
Fallschirmjäger working the munitions, Volksgrenadiers working the strategic point, mortar pounding away at the Overs over there. They're gonna pull back a little bit. No upgrade on the Obersoldaten yet. Banana continues to struggle for munitions a little bit. I think he's spending most of his munitions on mines, although that's not really the case anymore now that his stern pios are dead. Ooh. That mortar's getting some pretty nice hits off. Up to 3 kills already. If it continues to perform nicely against those overs, it might prove to be a pretty good source of bleed. Stolen MG-34 is a pretty big win for the Soviet player as well. I don't know why he's attacking those sandbags. I guess he'll kill them eventually with small arms fire. No cover available over here for these infantry, really, just shrubs. Fallschirmjäger moving up on the south flank. Mortar pounding the machine gun, bringing it quite low. Volksgrenadiers with their flamethrower force full retreat, and the MG-34 is suppressed. Ober's engaging it from range, picking off models slowly. Fallschirmjäger moving up into green cover will force a full retreat. And mortar will be next. Pretty good infantry engagement there for Banana, who with his high firepower Fallschirmjäger, his Obers at range, and his stolen flamethrower pulls off a really nice push. Forces a full retreat from those Soviet forces. Got suppressed. Nice placement of the machine gun there in the back. Just a really nicely executed infantry engagement, considering both of them had pretty much similar levels of firepower fielded to that engagement. These Overs are going to struggle a little bit until they get that MG upgrade. Finally it completes. So far they've only really fired at suppressed infantry and team weapons, so if they want to go up against massed infantry, they're going to need that machine gun, and it has completed. Really dangerous maneuver right there with the Panther. You should never do that, honestly. Attempting to crush a lone squad of conscripts without vision of what might be over here. If a T-3485 rolled up at that exact moment, that Panther would probably have died, which to one T-3485 would have been terrible. It also needs to pull back to safety and get repairs immediately, making an aggressive crush maneuver like that with no minesweeper support and no repairs anywhere on the battlefield except for a mechanized regiment headquarters all the way back here, is basically asking to just lose your Panther immediately. He's kind of banking on the fact that his opponent has no tank at this point because he has the resources for them, he just doesn't have the CPs, and if he had chosen to go tier 3, that Panther might be in some serious danger. If he'd gone tier 4 and there were an Su-85 on the field, it would probably die. So that was the risk-reward is just not worth it. The reward for a well-executed crush there would have been maybe 4 dead conscripts, and the risk is a dead Panther. You have to really take that into consideration when you're pulling off those maneuvers. Not to mention, with a top-mount machine gun upgrade, it'll probably kill them faster just shooting at them than it will trying to crush them.
The enemy is taking what we have secured. Scatter! The sector is at risk. The motherland grows.
Soviet player has gotten some control of territory back here in this general area. He's got the fuel. He's got a lot of tier 2 units now. 2 machine guns. One is a Maxim, I think. Yeah, Maxim on the field. Stolen MG34, field gun, mortar, and 6 squads of conscripts. So very, very heavy usage of his low-tech options. Does get suppressed before he can get behind that machine gun, and he still doesn't have Molotov. Oh yeah, he does have Molotov, he's just not using them. I guess he doesn't feel it's worthwhile. But he easily could have forced a retreat from that machine gun if he had just tossed a Molotov at it. Maybe he'll do so with the flanking squad over here. No. He does prompt it to reposition, but it's not going to be forced off the field completely. And it will start pinning down these infantry again, dealing heavy damage to that squad. Conscript continues to move around the north flank. Panthers still not received any repairs, and there's still no Sturmpio squad on the field. Banana, what are you doing? Bolshevik forced to retreat from that conscript squad over here. Grenade toss on that Maxim brings it very low. Probably going to get away though. Sturmovik strike coming down on the victory point does minor damage to those whatever Volksgrenadiers. I really don't get that ability. It's 90 munitions for like a pathetic amount of damage and no suppression apparently at all.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
There's some really inefficient munitions abilities in this game that I just don't understand them. I guess it's a little better than major artillery, maybe. Not really though. That's a pretty awful ability, I gotta say. That is just a waste. Just plant a demo charge instead. Every time you feel the urge to click this button, just go plant a demo charge instead. Or 3 mines. Whatever floats your boat. Unless your opponent has lots of AA and you're trying to aim the actual plane at a blob of infantry. Then maybe I could see it. Tactical RNG plane dives. Kamikaze strike.
We are down to 100 points. Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Armor is engaging us!
We have an isolated sector. Watch out!
Something hit a mine. I don't know what it was. Oh, a field gun hit it.
What do you need?
Only 1 crew member died, but a massive amount of damage to the gun itself.
Well,
You are showing weakness. We are down to 75 points.
Soviet player completely losing control of this game. If he doesn't get a victory point soon, it's not even going to matter that this Panther has done nothing. He needs a top-mount machine gun too, so that he can kill infantry with it without trying to make suicidal crush maneuvers. Finally, T-3485 is on the field. It's about to drive straight into a Panther though. Fortunately, no mines in the area, and the field gun is still decrewed. Obersoldaten moving up into cover to engage some infantry, but they're going to get overwhelmed by mass conscripts right there. Too late to jump into cover, I think. Maxim's gonna suppress him at range. There he goes. T-34 moves in on the Panther, gets a couple penetrating hits off, but instead of flanking around behind it, is actually reversing into this engagement to assist against infantry. He wants to clean up those overs, clean up those Fallschirmjäger, and not overextend his own medium tank, if he can avoid it. Second T-34 just got fielded. With 2 of those on the field, it may become difficult for Banana, but he has a ton of manpower reserves right now, and a ton of fuel, so he's really economically in a great spot. He could go second Panther almost immediately. He can go second Panther right now. He can transition to King Tiger if he thinks tier 2 would be a good idea. Oh yeah, he's in fact already built tier 2, so he may be transitioning to King Tiger next. Sturmovik strike apparently on the field gun almost kind of destroys it. Maybe you can use that to destroy a really low health team weapon. There, I thought of a use for that. You can destroy a field gun with like a tiny sliver of HP left for 90 munitions if it matters. If you're in a situation where that is important. That could be fun. Tactical usage of that. Tactical Sturmovik attack. Fallschirmjäger moving up to engage those conscripts. Take one loss really quickly, but it looks like they'll take the engagement, maybe. I don't know, that was a pretty nasty conscript volley. Reload Fallschirmjäger. I have no idea who will win this. Pretty sure that Fallschirmjäger model is going to take it. Okay. Fallschirmjäger model wins, barely. And immediately has to retreat away from that T-34. The Panther has received minimal repairs. He's kind of gambling. Kind of gambling a little bit. Low health Panther. No idea if there's any mines over here or not. He gets lucky. There are not. Trying to screen that Fallschirmjäger's retreat, and he will be successful. Jumps in front of that Fallschirmjäger squad and brings him home safely. I guess he thought that was worth the risk. I don't know, I probably would have just let them die. 2 squads of Fallschirmjäger is too manpower expensive for my tastes anyway. And he still doesn't have a single squad of stir bios. I can't believe he has no minesweeper or repairs. What is he thinking? Oh god. There's a field gun on his flank. T-34 wants to chase. Shots missing. Flamethrower is going to clear out the gun though. And I think, yeah, there it goes. Honestly, I might even keep up that chase. I might just go for it. Look at that HP. Ram! Oh, damaged engine. It penetrated. Not enough damage to secure the kill though. He should have fully committed. If he had fully committed instead of, oh, he couldn't make up his mind, what do I do? Dancing back and forth. He's like, alright, now I have to fully commit. No half measures. Here we go. T-34 going in hard on that Panther's flank. That Panther needs like 3 lucky bounces to survive this. Maybe. Or maybe just 1. I don't know. Oh no, another ram! Oh, he didn't even need it and the ram gets cancelled. Can he survive this though? He needs to somehow get to safety. I don't know how he's going to. Allied field gun in the back. Maybe he could high explosive barrage that field gun to death. Ah, he can't hide. He has to continue trying to circle and hide. There's the high explosive barrage. It's off target though. I think this T-34 will go down. No! Oh, there it is. The high explosive barrage connects. Wow. Drive! Get to safety! Why won't it drive away? Run, little tank! He must be microing something else. There's a big engagement going for the center VP. He only has 40 victory points remaining right now, but if that T-34 dies, it'll kind of be his own fault. It looks like he's gonna get to safety. Barely. Wow. Wow, that was so close. So close. Well, we saw some pretty amusing usages of RAM there. First one to damage the Panther's engine with a lucky penetration on the front. And it totally made sense to do in that situation. Good usage. And the second usage I thought was a little desperate, but he got lucky. His shot penetrated mid-ram and it canceled it. And all it really did was give him the speed boost. And he was able to dance his way out of that dangerous situation. T-34 back in the base receiving repairs from conscripts. Game isn't exactly even. Soviet player is way behind for VPs by a massive margin. Massive margin. Fallschirmjäger already harassing the right side again to keep the clock ticking against him. Soviet player doesn't seem to have any way to harass the left side VP. If he dedicates his squad to go over there, it's going to take forever to get over there. He really needs this T-34 repaired and protecting the right side. He has very little time with which to enact a comeback here. killing the Panther will go a decent way, but there's going to be a King Tiger on the field quite soon. 37. Maxim going solo for the right. I don't know if that's going to work. The T-34 is moving to support, though. And this squad has been dedicated to the left, and there's some convenient green cover right there. Koenig's Tiger in production, though. Last of the Mohicans is going to have to pull off some pretty miraculous plays to take out that King Tiger and maintain victory point control for the entire rest of the game against Fallschirmjäger. If I were him, the first step I would take is destroy this house. Destroy that house and make sure Fallschirmjäger do not harass that victory point anymore, because if he loses victory point control for even a slightly significant amount of time, it's GG. It's completely GG. Start with this one. If I could find an opportunity to destroy this one, I would probably do that as well. And he's concentrating his defenses a little too hard in the middle, if I'm being honest. 2 conscript squads and a T-34 over here will probably be sufficient to defend for a little while, but a King Tiger is going to be hard to stop no matter which victory point it decides to engage, honestly. Banana will split his forces between the west victory point and the center. Stolen field gun, MG-34, flamethrower, and Obers. King Tiger could go either way. Fallschirmjäger could go either way. Double Volksgrenadiers would probably be sufficient to get control of this point back. There's the Desperation Tactical Sturmovik attack. Look at that 0 damage. Good value for that 9 of munitions. He probably would have had a more dramatic effect with a Molotov. Conscripts will be forced to retreat right there against superior numbers. Despite setting up in green cover, he does not have nearly the firepower he needs to win that engagement. Drops only 1 model and loses 4. Fallschirmjäger and Obers moving into his retreat path probably not succeed in heading him off. A 3rd T-34 is now on the field. If he still had his original one alive, had all 3 T-34s left right now, he may stand a chance against this King Tiger, but a big engagement going down in the center now. This flanking squad of Fallschirmjäger with Ober support will wreak havoc on this line of team weapons here. Maxim and conscripts in green cover there, falling low to the King Tiger. Fallschirmjäger need to get forced to retreat. Obers need to get forced to retreat, but there's just no firepower left. Bundle grenade clearing out the field gun. King Tiger shot annihilating everything. Last of the Mohicans rapidly losing control of the center, and he's trying to pull off a flank here with that T-34 in the back. Gets shots off on the King Tiger, which has already taken minor damage from field gun fire. Second T-34 moving up from the right side. Nicely executed flank by these tanks, but it feels a little bit late. I don't know, he might be able to take out that KT. He needs to also preserve his tanks and wipe out all of Banana's infantry in the process, though. King Tiger falling low. Keep that T-34 moving, keep them moving. They need to stay behind that King Tiger and continue bringing its health down. He also has a lot of other things to manage right now, though. Engagement for the left, Volksgrenadiers taking that. T-34 will ram and get a miracle penetration on that King Tiger. Wow, damaged engine, it might go down, finish the job. Bounce on the rear armor, what is this? Oh, stay out of field gun range, no. That's probably GG. I think he could have microed that tank engagement a little bit better. Got some bad RNG in the engagement. His infantry were all forced off the field. Pretty solid play by Banana, start to finish. Lost his flak half track a little early, but other than that, pretty good stuff. He actually got some bad RNG himself with frontal ram penetrations from his opponent's T-34s, but the engagements were just too costly, and Banana's early lead was too much. Better map control generally as well. GG. Axis wins.